If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Well, let's take this down onto the field then. What's the filthiest, dirtiest thing anybody's ever done to you or tried to do to you? And how angry did it make you? And I mean, you've been in this league a long time. You've seen a lot of stuff. I mean, Mike Flynn used to tell me people would, kick you in the spadoobies at the bottom of the pile. Just the stuff that we don't see as fans. We've seen the spitting, into faces. We've seen all of this sort of unmanly, stuff that's happened. For you, what's the code? I guess that's the thing I'm getting. What's the honor code in the NFL?
I mean, there's a saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Oh, really? That's the code.
So,
right.
But like the spitting and the biting and the grabbing of the genitalia, there's no room for that. Like that's not a part of the game. Now, if you're headhunting out there or you hit someone in the back or you're holding, now that's just you being a bit overzealous or whatever. So as far as
but there are rules for that. But things at the bottom of the pile,
there's no room for that. But I've never experienced any of those things. I've been playing football for a long time. I've never experienced any of those things. Now, what have I experienced? Yeah, guys hitting me in the back, guys holding me, guys trying to tackle me, and things like that. Guys trying to take cheap shots at me.
Cheap shot? What's a cheap shot? Define cheap shot.
I mean, it's basically just hitting you in the back or trying to sneak you, hit you when you're not looking. But this stuff is all, in between the whistle. So you got to protect yourself at all times. You got to be ready for anything. After the whistle is a whole different story. So.
But doesn't it seem? It always seems to me that in the league, that if you wanted to break somebody's leg and just go after them, that's when the guys get angry. I think guys come out and you see guys angry, and it has nothing to do with the way the play went or yardage or the things that get fans angry. It's clearly something was said about your mama or somebody really tried to hurt you and take your livelihood away.
I mean, if the play is over and you're running down the field and the whistle blew and some guy hits you in the knees, then there's probably going to be a fight. If there's a play where there's no hitting in the knees, like on every special teams play, there's no hitting below the waist, and someone hits you below the waist, there's probably going to be a fight, So, I mean, we're all a bunch of men out there. If somebody's going to do something, something cheap, after the whistle especially, that's what's going to make me upset. The talking and most of the stuff that goes on between the whistle and holding or someone tackles me, that's not bad. But if someone does, something that's going to threaten your career and, prevent you from playing the game at your highest level, and we see it all the time, guys taking out people's knees and things like that. There's really no room for that in the game. And guys headhunting and whatnot, there was a fine this week, a $20,000 fine, I believe, by the kid on the Falcons. So there's no room for those types of things. But there's see guys, and that's usually when you see guys fighting. Who cares about the talking? That stuff doesn't bother me.
Is part of that the refs don't even have to police that to some degree, or the league, that it's a little bit policed amongst the brotherhood of, hey man, you're trying to hurt me here. That's not cool. That's not part of the game as you see it. Because I think I once had a friend of mine that worked in the business briefly. I got him a press pass, and this is a long time. It was in Tennessee, and Stoney Case was still the Ravens quarterback. So I guess it was '99. And this guy's a big football fan, and he was helping me work that day. And I got him a press pass, and he was down on the field the last couple minutes. And he's a hardcore football fan, and he thinks of it as war. I hate the other team. Everybody hates everybody. Somehow at the end of the game, he wound up down in the circle where everybody takes a knee, does the prayer, and gets together. And he was just so awestruck by the brotherhood of the players in the league. That Hines Ward doesn't really hate Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis doesn't really hate Hines Ward. It's just sort of that way between 1 and 4 a couple times a year, right?
Yeah, I think the fans take it to a whole nother level, with the Pittsburgh toilet paper. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we liked it.
But, people don't understand, some of these guys we grew up with, we played high school football with them, we played high school football against them, we played college football with them or against them, we've known them for 10, 15 years or whatever,
You're in the same business.
Right, and it's really, the NFL is a fraternity. If you're a fan of one team, you're a fan of the whole NFL. If you support one team, you're supporting all 32 teams in the NFL. So the fans really, they take it to a whole nother level, and the fans, they F us out, on the sidelines, and they say F your mom and all these crazy things, but they don't understand, after the game, I might, if I'm staying in that city, like I might be with one of these guys I'm playing against after the game. Like we're really a fraternity. You know, now, yeah, there's some guys that kind of have.
Well, we found that out in the off season when you guys were unionized.
Oh, everybody was together. I was working out with guys from every team in the league. You know, but really the NFL is a fraternity. Every player, you know, we go to a lot of the same seminars. We do a lot of the same things together. And then, you know, on Sunday when we line up against each other, we're wearing different uniforms, and we're going to do what we can to dominate and to beat that guy. But after the game, for 90% of us, there's no ill will after the game. You know, there's some guys you just don't like. You know, and yeah, I really dislike the Steelers, but there's not any player on their team that I'd ever say that I hate. You know, would I go after him and try to hit him as hard as I can, and I'm not going to try to injure anybody? But do I want them to feel pain when I hit them? Of course I do, but I want them to play the next play. You know.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.